How's it going, everybody? So we've had kind of a big surprise coming up. Right now we're at the base of Grand Targhee Resort. So this is kind of a big day. I've been excited about it for a while. This is hands down the coolest pump job I've ever done. So I'm super psyched about it. So you can see behind me, we're at the resort, we're at the base. I'll show you in a second where exactly we're headed. They are putting in a new lift this year, and so we are pouring the pads for it. So we're gonna pour one at the bottom and one at the very top. So we're about the same elevation as Dreamcatcher, if you're familiar with the mountain. And we'll kind of give some geography as we go up around too, but we just pulled up to the bottom. It's like 7:30. I believe we have about a 30-minute drive or so to get up there, just because how rough the road is. The pump's already up there. We took it up on Friday and left it over the weekend. It's Monday morning. Because there's already so many problems today, it just is really complicated to put all this together. The mixers are coming up and all that, so we didn't want to have to add the pump to that too. There's a lot of collaboration that had to happen to make this possible. So we'll kind of talk about that in a little bit too, but the fact that this gets to go is a huge deal. I'm very excited. It's gonna be awesome. So tag along, it should be a really cool pour, and we'll get up there. 60,000 pounds on top of a mountain's a pretty big deal, so let's get rolling. So the plan is, the pump will get up okay, I think. The mixers are gonna have a hard time. There's two nasty turns. We just went up one, and I didn't even hop at all. So I have 3 diff lock, one that locks between the axles, and then one that locks each axle individually. I'm only locking the one that goes between them. Otherwise, I'm worried on the turns, it's gonna push me straight, and I won't be able to turn because I'm on such a pitch. I've only got my one locked in, and we came around that corner just fine. This one up here is nastier. It's up there where you can see the excavator.
Oh yeah.
It's way up there. It drops off really hard on the backside, so it gets ugly. We're gonna see how that goes. The plan is they're gonna put a dozer at the lower one and a dozer at this upper one. Each mixer is gonna get pulled up the corner by that. What's crazy too is if you look at this road, look at the rock on each side. That's what they had to dig through.
Yeah, we were just talking like, how do they cut this road?
They had an excavator with a big jackhammer, just dun, 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 dun. And then they hauled it all off actually. That's why this road is so beat up, because they had haul trucks coming down this all summer last year. So we're gonna pour the main one. So there's a bunch of towers that hold the cable down the hill, and those they had to helicopter pour. So I'm trying to watch my temperatures. I'm trying to watch my axle temperatures as well, because those could be climbing.
We got all the boost. That's all people care about is boost is going.
So far our temperatures are doing just fine.
I mean, we're so high up here, it's pretty much July and they're still snow up here.
Here it is. See, this one's nasty because the way it drops off. Like that.
Oh, like nothing.
Steep this is though?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Hold that camera out over the side, mate.
You sure you don't want it?
You want to know what would be smart? He's worried. The truck's not going anywhere.
But I'm putting rocks in front.
But he's putting rocks.
It'll make me sleep better. We said all it's gonna do is pop the tire when we forget to move it and then drive out. Okay, so look at that.
Oh man.
Isn't that crazy? If a man can't pee off the Tetons, what can he do? Good morning. Figured I'd give you guys a little update. It is 4:30 a.m. We had mud at 4, so we left at 1:30. Pumping a big bridge deck. You can see this is the freeway. So we started at 4. Everything's going good. He's about 3 trucks in. I have to get out of here to go to my big one at the top of Targhee. So that should be kind of cool. Jacob's gonna stay here. He's pumping really fast. Should be good. So we're locking in hubs just so that we can roll in 4 low. Steep bow meter, is what we're gonna call it. Was at 15 degrees, so that's pretty gnarly. So anyway, we're gonna put it in 4-wheel drive, probably put it in 4 low, maybe going up, but for sure coming back down so we can use it as brakes. We'll get rolling. So far, so good. A little rough on tires, but everything's handling it okay. Here's Sacagawea. That's this lift. If you see that where the road comes up, goes off into nowhere, that's the last nasty turn. And we're headed all the way to the top. Actually, you can see the pump. It makes it look tiny, huh? So those are the dozers they're using to pull trucks up with if they need to. Transmission's sitting at about 226. A little higher than I like, but. Ajá.
¿Qué onda, güey?
¿Qué onda, carnal?
¿Nueva troca?
Simón. So I'm gonna come in pretty steep like this, pretty sharp I mean. So my outrigger can sit right there on that ledge, and my front one will be somewhere in here. So, it shouldn't be too bad. So I just tried to kick myself around a little bit so that outrigger has space to be on that edge. So we'll kick it out and see where it lands. My goal is to get this front one right in that hole. Another thing I had to kind of watch out for, she's moving her truck right now, but a mixer has to be able to get behind me to wash out, turn around, and get out of here. So this is to prevent some of the abuse on my pads. So I'm gonna short rig that one so that the trucks don't have quite a turn to make, quite as much of a turn to make. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of elevation on the front so that we have some nice slope on our deck pipe. Man, I was skinnier on Friday. Well, so this is our the pipe on the boom is 5-inch. This goes 5 to 4. That has a little one on it that's a 4 to 3.5, and so we want to pour the 3.5 today. Walter's mud is pretty good for a 3.5, and it just flows really nice. I think our plan is to pour out the first 3 trucks pretty quick, and then the next couple kind of pump him out real slow to give him time to get his round trippers back. What do you think?
I put an hour Delvo in it too.
Oh, so it should go pretty slow.
So I'm thinking, he said he was gonna batch right at 7:30.
You want to explain to him what Delvo is?
A Delvo is like a delay set. So what a Delvo does is it just like, you could batch it, put an hour worth of chemicals in it, and it won't start setting until you have about an hour after that. But
so essentially we should get fresh mud.
Essentially we should get fresh mud. They batch out of 4, put the Delvo in it, and then it should show up here an hour later with the Delvo at a 4 slump, and then start going off from there.
I was gonna ask, what are you pouring at?
It's a 4.
A 4? Okay.
Yeah,
Is
the
that
specs
spec?
on this is 1 to 3 slump, 4 to 6% air, 4,500 PSI. So yeah, I wanted to do, because they're gonna batch out of 4, so I wanted to do an hour delay. When we get it here, it shows up at a 4 and doesn't start losing slump quickly.
Okay, well we're all set, so as soon as we have mud.
Look at that end.
That's right.
Good old Mills concrete end.
Do you think that was an accident?
Yeah.
We just hiked up a little bit past the pump. Oh, so also, in my defense, I've been up since 1:30. That make it better? So the pump's right down there. The Tetons are behind me, just unbelievable. The first truck just made it to the valley, or to the base, I mean. In a full mixer, I'm guessing we probably have about a 30-minute wait till he gets there. So the pump's all set up and off. So set it up in a really, really cool Z just because it stands out and it looks cool. So now we wait. Hurry up and wait. That's the name of the game. No, how many trucks on us?
Oh, yeah, 5.
Five?
Supposed to have 5, but
That's it.
we're waiting on one to get
So maybe for where?
River in.
Oh, sounds good. Cool. Okay, that's mine. He's really cool. So Mud just got here, finally made it up the hill. He said he made it up with no problems, so that's good. We have to test it, so we're actually gonna, it's kind of unconventional, but we're gonna fill the hopper with mud. I'm gonna kick it over once, just so I hold my water. Once he's all the way full and he ran off his first yard of mud, he's gonna go over and fill up her wheelbarrow so she can test off of that. Then before we prime the system, he's gonna wait for the test results. Then once we get those, if we pass, because they're really specific here, once they pass, then we're good to prime and we'll be rolling. We're gonna dump out the first, I think, 3 trucks really fast. Then we're gonna slow down so they can round trip. Also, if I get something, I'm pretty sure people that, if I get something in my food, I either like just freak out or it close to me so I can kind of aim the prime. So what we have 4 trucks total coming to us, so we have to pour out the first 3 like crazy fast so that they can start round tripping, and then start with number 4. We're gonna just trickle it so we don't end up with hard mud. So we just emptied out truck number 1. What was that, like 4 minutes maybe? I mean, that's why the boom was bouncing so bad. So after truck number 3, the boom should be a lot smoother. I had it pretty cranked, so we're gonna do that, lay a base, and then just start laying it out smooth. So we were going and we had a plug. You could hear it kind of just snap shut. So we couldn't vibrate it out, so we took off the hose, cleared it out, and then we only had a little bit left in that truck, so we just blew out the rest of the truck without the hose on, since it's not very much movement. And then we just put it back on, so we're waiting on another truck. Okay, so I just got off the phone with Chris and with Mike from Walters. Also, I've been up since 1:30 and the sun is starting to get warm. I am tired, but that's okay, we're getting close. We have 6.5 yards sitting down halfway up the hill, and we're gonna be short about 2 after that. It calls for like 8.5. That really sucks because the plant is far enough away. That means we have to get that other truck up here, and then when it gets up here, we're gonna let it sit for 20 minutes and not even touch it. Then we're gonna pull our sample, pump out maybe a yard, and then just sit again for like 25 minutes. Then go and pump out 2 more yards and sit again for 20 minutes, because otherwise, if they just barely got news to batch 2 yards, if they have a truck, by the time they batch it, get it sent up the hill and everything else, you're looking at like an hour and a half. So that's if they have a truck ready. If they don't, we're probably 2 hours out. So we're gonna just be really patient, take it nice and slow. Jacob is actually almost done with his job, which is crazy because mud was at 4 and it is now almost 1:30 in the afternoon. So that's kind of wild. So we're going on 12 hours right now from when we woke up, me and Jacob Hardy. So anyway, long day, but definitely a fun one. Still, I'm tired, but it's still pretty fun to be up here. So what, we take it easy. So anyway, we'll just wait for the last call back. Okay, so change of plan. I guess it was so close on the measurement, they're just gonna try to hit it and see what happens. So I got the pump cranked and we're busting it out. So we'll see. If it doesn't make it, we're screwed, but I think it will. Okay, well that fills up. Honestly, couldn't have gone any better. I mean, perfect amount of mud, setup was easy. Trucks, there was a bit of a gap, but nothing more than we expected, so that all went as planned. Pretty perfect. The crew was fast. We got every truck tested, every truck passed. We still have to go down the hill, and that's, I think, the scariest part, so I shouldn't speak too soon. But as far as the job went, easy money. So we'll see how the rest of that goes. So we had a bit of a complication. I spoke too soon and said everything was great. So I went to suck a bucket, and for some reason, it just didn't want to suck, which is fine. So then we went to suck a sponge, and I remember that I lost both of my sponges that I had. Well, we had 3. One of them got cut in half, and then I lost the last 2 at that terrible job for that tennis court. We don't have anything on. Now, I sucked a bucket good enough. It cleared the deck pipe mostly. There's still some junk in there. So I think what I'm gonna do, I know my boom's clear, so I think what we're actually gonna do is I'm gonna fold up, wash out, get everything clear. If I have enough water here, I'll wash our water wash here. If not, I'll just have to go to Walters. So what happens in a water wash is, well, there's 2 kinds. There's one to like wash out, and there's one to just clear your boom. So this one, we're gonna wash out completely, hopper empty like normal. Then, just to make sure that we're good, we're gonna fill the hopper all the way up with water, take a couple strokes forward, fill it up the rest of the way, close the lid, and then just go full blast forward, and it will blow all that back through the boom. And so that kind of gives you just some insurance that it is clear, and it prevents anything, even if there was anything left in there, it gets it so watered down that it's not going to cause you any problem. Not an ideal situation. What are you going to do, you know? So we'll just get pulled up and do that. Just going to dump that as quick as I can, and if I can put water in, great. I don't think I'm going to have enough. Otherwise, I'll just go to Walters. So if you look right here, we obviously very little sediment. And if you look in here, we ran so much water through that it's gravel. So we got a lot water, we got a lot through, and you can see up here there's plenty. Pretty good washout, but we're gonna go water wash afterwards just to be safe.
Oh, we're not full from the far side. That makes me feel better.
On both?
Yeah, you'll start going, and then once he'll give me a signal and I'll start going, then we'll find each other.
Okay.
And then you just stay.
Do you want me to just let off the brakes and just roll?
No brakes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, no brakes.
Sounds
Just
good.
let
If
the
you
dozer
feel like
do
you're
it.
getting out of control and like I'm out of control too, yeah, let's help with your
Well,
brakes. but-
otherwise.
Yeah.
Because I think coming down, if I just keep my pace real slow, let's say it does start to hop a little bit right here, I think it'll push me up into this bank and give me whatever little bit I need. And actually, so far, most of this, I've been off the brakes. I've just been on a Jake.
Didn't push that hard coming down? Nice.
Not too bad. We are back on pavement, rock and roll. So that is always good. Couple complications, nothing crazy. We got towed down that first one and I'm really glad we did. It was pretty scary. Our strap took a little bit of a beating. It held up great. Yank 'em, does it again. The day's not quite over though yet. We have to take this or water wash it. Otherwise, that's kind of it. All things considered, that went pretty great. There could have been a lot more complications than there were. So I'm very happy with the way it went. Jacob Hardy just finished. We'll probably meet him. And I think that's it. This was by far my favorite video to make. It was really cool because I've always skied here. And so we got to contribute to the mountain. And so that was kind of neat. Also, beautiful, just beautiful. And it was pretty complicated. I like a challenge, so it was kind of fun that way. Like I said, a couple things went wrong, but nothing too crazy. Overall, that was a pretty good success. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. That makes it so we can make some more of these and make them better than when I do it by myself. Share it with a friend who you think might like it. Either way, thank you from all of us here at Jake and Jackson, and thanks for watching.